All right, I'm back with 4 contestants from The Biggest Loser, which is now the subject of the new Netflix docuseries Fit for TV. The person in charge of overseeing not just the contestants' weight loss, but their overall health was Dr. Robert Huizenga. He joins me live now. Dr. H, I'm going to get to you in a second, but first, I just want to get to Hannah, who I hadn't heard from, about what you thought about the show, because in the doc you explained initially you didn't want to do it.
Oh, I was humiliated. Can you imagine someone walking up to you and saying, you should be on The Biggest Loser? It wasn't something that I really felt like I needed, but it was everything that I absolutely needed. I went on the show. I got the mental health help that I really needed. I met with the show psychologists, obviously Dr. Huizenga, Julian, and Bob. And we really felt very supported throughout the whole entire journey. Olivia and I were on the longest season of Biggest Loser history, season 11. And I walked into the show a pre-diabetic, 100% diagnosed with infertility. And since the show, I'm a healthy person. I have 2 children. I was able to have 2 children. I had a child right before we filmed the documentary at 46, which is incredible. And I'm at my maintenance weight today through diet and exercise. And I learned all of these things on the show. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. But we were treated with kindness and respect. And I don't feel like an abused contestant or a victim in any way. And everybody has their own experience, and every season was different.
Yeah, and Dr. Huizenga, you know, people have, you watch the doc, you realize people have very different experiences of the show. When you look back, what do you think, and do you look back with any regrets or any issues that you had with the way things were done?
Well, the thing I'm very proud of is we were very transparent, and we were really trying to learn. So we did more medical studies than ever on any TV show, much less a reality show. So in this instance, you know, we studied people over a 6-year span, and it was very gratifying to see that while some people regained essentially all their weight, usually about half of each year, about half did really well. And so we tried to investigate that half that was doing well, and we found out that they tended to exercise about 70 to 75 minutes a day, and the group that on average, you know, worked out 15 to 20 minutes didn't do as well. And that was advancing what we need to know about people that are continuing. But probably the biggest regret I have is that I didn't oversee the NIH study that was pretty much, you know, misreported in the New York Times, and it just caused so much pain and grief to the contestants. It was so heartbreaking when they came out, and you mentioned it, you said their metabolisms were permanently damaged, and that was found to not be true. Basically, they made a critical error. They did the very first metabolic rate the first day of the show. These contestants were coming from all over the country. They were so nervous, so excited, they couldn't sleep. They didn't sleep. They were so amped up that their metabolic rates, we believe, were far, far higher. And when we looked at comparable bariatric surgery patients, the initial metabolic rate they typed in was way off. And then subsequently, within the last year, we see other doctors trying to reproduce that study and could not. And so the entire study that caused so much pain and aggravation to these contestants, they were literally crying, calling me on the phone going, is my metabolism ruined for life? And the fact of the matter is, it now appears very clear that this study was in error. And that probably pains me the most, that I couldn't intervene. We were trying to learn, we were trying to help. And, you know, even papers like the New York Times, you know, they really didn't do a good enough job in going through it. And then that myth has been perpetuated.
Let me ask you this, Dr. Huizenga, because one thing that Danny brought up in the docuseries was that there was no, like, aftercare. Like, they would do this intense, you know, time there, lose all this weight, and then just go home with no real support. Meanwhile, the show made all of this money. And was there no money there to, like, maybe have a therapist that they could stick with or get them a trainer when they went back home? Sorry, we only have like 30 seconds left, by the way.
I want to make clear that I never made any money on, you know, the points on the show. I made nothing on any of the products. I basically showed up and got paid for the hours that I worked. So I made none of that. But I did attempt, as I think all these contestants will verify, to call them all up and to try to see how everybody was doing over time. And we charted them for, you know, those first 6 years. And, you know, I just wish I could have done more and the show could have done more. No question. Well, we needed to do it.
We will continue the conversation. The doc is amazing. Everybody's interested. Appreciate you all coming on.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.